Okay, I think I'm back. So, hopefully, my sound is good. If so, I'm gonna go ahead and get some credits out of the way. Make sure you hit the subscribe, hit the likes, hit the buttons, so we can keep the algorithms pushing the content. It is important that y'all do that because that's what drives, people being able to view the messages. And what's up, Miss D? Also, when y'all get a chance, go over to my new channel, Major Experience TV. Trying to get more subs there because we post some content about Vietnam. You're gonna see some Asian business opportunity stuff you might be interested in. You're gonna see, the way the world works a little different. Oh, Miss Eve, can you make sure my sound is good and video quality is good and that y'all can hear me loud and clear? That way I can fix anything before we get started. And I didn't get too much sleep last night, so y'all gonna have to excuse me. Trying to get my eyes working good, Got a 4-year-old in the room at all times, so it is what it is. But yeah, I'm showing I'm alone. Okay, okay, sounds like my sound, video quality is good. I hope so, 'cause I'm gonna get started. I'm trying to let a few more people jump on here real quick, see what's going on out there, see if I'm catching y'all at the right time, wrong time, this, that, and the other. I appreciate that, Miss E, dropping the link for the Major Experience TV channel. Man, I wish I could do that from my end. I can't do anything, like posting stuff or commenting or whatever. Wild Bill, appreciate that. B. Smith in the house. Lord K. What was the other one? I said Purple City Preppy. What's up? Anybody else jumping on here? Make a quick comment so I can see you watching. Throw a shout out to you. And get about 30 people up in here. I'm gonna get moving. Sigma. What was it? Sigma LaFleur. What was that? Jatina Harris, what's up? Yeah, I appreciate y'all checking on everybody. Lord K, hope all is well with everyone. He's talking about me and my family, everybody jumping on here. Rob, Zombie. Is it Zombie? Yeah, okay. Y'all see me scooting back. Gift Edom's in the house from Dubai. I know because that's my only Dubaian that I know that's watching. See, a lot of times I'll watch my feeds, I see y'all's names, I know who's on here a lot, because y'all know I ain't got a ton of viewers anymore. There's C. Marie in the house. Y'all got the 2 moderators on here, so watch what you said. They ain't gonna let you pass, not today, not tomorrow, not minute time. So that's what's up. All right, got 32 people in here. So hey, everybody that's on here, thank you, Miss E. Hit the likes. Let's get the likes up before we get started. If it's 33, 34 of us in here, let's put some bruises on them thumbs. Get them likes up because it helps the only reason why I say it is because it helps the algorithm push the content out. That's it. It's not like because you like me or like what I'm saying. It's kind of like, well, if you vibe in this channel, then yeah, of course. You wanted to reach people. So appreciate that. Felicia Bell in the house. Sunday and some numbers. What's up? All right, y'all. I'm gonna kind of get started. What was my title? Sometimes I have this idea about my title, and then I know what I'm about to say, but my title kind of helps me say what I'm gonna say. I think I said something to the effect that all around you, all the time, beware kind of thing, right? So we're gonna get into it. This little discussion, I'll mix it up like I normally do, like some gumbo. So if you like shrimp, get shrimp out. You like sausage, Eat that. If you like it all, take your big spoonful and chug it on down. Because we're about to mix in some gumbo right here. So, yeah, they all around you. Beware. That's what it was. So, I wasn't talking about aliens. I wasn't talking about, white people or black people, or if there's ever such a thing. I was talking about people. And this is supposed to promote positivity, but I kind of got to start off kind of a little negative connotation about it. I mean, because it is what it is. No, not the aliens, right? No, not the flat earthers. Everybody's like, oh, you're one of them flat earthers. You know what? That's what we're about to talk about. We're about to talk about people and how they see things, and then how you can spot these people around you. That's what I'm saying. Beware, so you can get that static out your life. Because static is not a pleasant thing to be around. I was thinking about being on the radio. You listen to your jam, whatever it is. You might be listening, if you're Caucasian, to some Van Haven. If you brown, you might be listening to some, I don't know, Sade or something like that, or some other old school. I'm old school, so I got to come out with Sade or, Naughty by Nature, some old stuff, even Vanilla Ice, baby. Okay, stop. Collaborate and listen. Let me go. I'm not gonna go into that. Hang on, I was about to start rapping. Then y'all really would get off my channel. But anyway, you said the good stuff. Yeah, that's right. Old school. That's why I tried to do that Throwback Sundays thing that didn't work out. I guess they threw it right back at me. Because when I tried to do it, there was copyright thing. I didn't know that the algorithm on YouTube was that dope. The AI is that dope where you can almost be humming a song and they'll be like, oh, copyright infringement. That's Isley Brothers. And they'll name the song and you can't do that. But anyway, what's up, Bradson? Chris, Sean, let's see what. I can't read that name. Something HD, talking about a ninja. Go ninja, go ninja, go. I know that's right. Yeah. All right. So let me get into this talk before I go far away from, get off the reservation too far, and I won't be able to get back. Horse get tired, won't have no water, can't take me back. So, there's a lot of noise today too, because there's motorbikes and stuff running around. But we're going to get into the discussion. Beware that, they all around you. I wasn't talking about the aliens. I'm talking about the static. You listen to your jam on the radio, and then some static come in while you're traveling, right, in the car, because you in between signals. And you trying to tune, yo, that's my jam, right? And then the static kills the jam. Don't disturb this groove. Y'all remember that song? Yeah, that's what's happening when static happens. Don't disturb this groove. Your groove get disturbed. Your signal get disturbed with a lot of static in your life. And your frequency, whichever one you zone, get disturbed. This is supposed to help your life. So we're going to talk a little, I don't want to say negativity, I'm just communicating some information, right? And then we're going to finish up with the positivity side, because that's how you finish strong. You shouldn't be trying to finish the marathon barely stumbling over the line. Because you want to make sure you finish, so you want to push past the line. Your goal is never the line, your goal is always past the line. On the other side of the line, not right before it, not almost there, not kind of sort of almost made it. You know what I'm saying? No. You're trying to go past the line. That's your goal. So with all this static stuff going on around us, these people that create this static electricity, y'all know what happened when static electricity pop you. That's what some people's energy is coming out of them, or their aura, or whatever you want to call it. Y'all know how I get down. I don't care what you call it. It just is, however you describe somebody's stuff coming out of them onto you. Use that word, bam, you got it, all right? I'm going to say energy, because that's the one that comes to me first and quickest, so blah, blah, blah. All right. So, these people, the static coming out of them, what spurred some of this was it's a good lesson for me because it's a constant reminder that even though I'm pushing forward, it's always a crab in the bucket trying to pull you back. Y'all know them people, them crab mentality people. They see you climbing to the top, you was at the bottom, started from the bottom, now I'm here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team here, okay? You was at the bottom, you climbing up to the top, using all your energy, pushing past all the negativity, keeping it lemonade instead of lemons, you know, sunny day even though it's raining kind of stuff. And then here come these crabs, right? It's more crabs in the bucket than there are climbers. You need to know that. And then secondly, I'll answer some questions, y'all. Let me get through this, and then y'all can post up some stuff about Vietnam, and I'll be like, towards the end of the talk, throw at me what you got, and then boom, 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 I'm gonna rapid fire answer that stuff for you. But those crab people, they all around you all the time. Some of them in your family, some of them your spouse, your people you got the contract with, marriage license, okay? Some of them people. Trust me, I know this ain't my first rodeo, y'all. These people's around you. And what spurred all this was, I posted, check this out. Okay, let me give you some context. He needed a new muffler on his motorbike. I'm gonna buy him a new muffler. That wasn't no Harley, that was no Yamaha. Anyway, what spurred this was, I posted a picture where I did the fashion thing, you know, I did the little model thing, and these people hit me up, yo, you got the different look, we want to use you for our, it's called HR Fashion. What they do is they specialize in making bags and gear for business people in the human resource business over here in Vietnam. So it's called HR Fashion, some new line they coming out with, whatever. I got some bags of my own that a brother of mine in Canada, he moved to Canada, he's a fashion designer cat, he makes these leather bags called Mojave. Look that up, Mojave. So these bags about $1,200, $2,000, business bags for men, got the strap, carry, put your laptop, iPad, whatever you need to put in the bag, put in there. So, you know, bags are useful tools. Unfortunately, for a lot of people that saw the pictures I posted, instead of commenting, you know, you're gonna get a few. So it's not a lesson in oh, Major's naive and thinks that everybody's positive. Nah, I ain't even positive 24. You can catch me on the wrong day too, and I'll be done double-edged sworded you to death. You know what I'm saying? I'll be done cut you up too. But you know. I posted a picture with the fashion bag thing, and people, so a lot of people start getting on the bandwagon. They just waiting for you to post something, and I'm just trying to show you about the static people, the energy vampires, the people that you're trying to make sure that you're aware of. Here's the visual of how they think, so you can catch them before they think some thoughts towards you, and interrupt your flow, mess up your jam with some static. You know what I'm saying? So I'll read comments, I'll be like, yo, okay, that's good observation. Yo, that's dope, appreciate you. And then the negativity ones, you know, I try to spit something back, like positive, but every now and then, you know, my street come out. My street will come out on me. Yeah, you don't want that Major. Yeah, you don't want that guy to come out. I've been practicing not being that dude. So anyway, sometimes the practice don't work foolproof. Ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody around here walking around on this earth. You are perfect at all. We all gonna make mistakes. You all gonna have to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep it moving, shoulder. And if you taller, you know what I'm saying? It's just that kind of place. It's that kind of environment. So you gotta always be in the know about that. You gotta like keep that at the top of your thoughts. Like, oop, that's a crab. Yep, sidestep. You know, teach me how to Dougie. I'll Dougie on around you, right? And then we gonna keep it moving. But I posted this picture. So see, these dudes, oh, I'm disappointed with you, Major. Don't know real men need to carry a purse. My thought is, wow, you got so limited capabilities on seeing any expansion that you have to resort to the typical response on an image. Like, it's funny, that same bag that's in the picture on my community channel, I used on another image where I look like I'm leaning on this big old wall of money, right? And I got that same bag, right? This shows you how predictive programming works. This shows you how people are programmed into believing things, and everybody should have their thoughts and their beliefs and whatever makes you tick. Go on and wind that clock up and use it, right? But the whole point I'm making is when that starts creating static for you, you gotta know how to, change gears and Maserati on up out of there, or speed up and hit. I was always trained: a deer run in front of your car, speed up, don't slow down. If you slow down, the front of your car dip down, then the deer be done slid up your hood, in through your windshield, mess around, kill you, right? Because you trying to stop. Deer run out in front of you, it's already lights out. You better push that gas pedal and knock that thing on out of the way. So it's gonna mess your car up anyway, but at least maybe you won't be killed and you ain't gonna swerve and hit a tree. So you don't want static people to cause you to be able to swerve and hit a tree and then you out and they still on the road. Ah, ha, 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 ha. You don't want them to, come through your windshield. At the least, you got to knock them on out of the way. So this is just helpful tips on how to get static out your life, because when that static is in there all the time, man, we, in North America, we train a lot different than the rest of the world. Over in other parts of the world, they don't care if you family, you keep creating enough static, you just, it's a cut, wrap. I ain't talking to you no more. Don't ever see me. I don't care what's wrong with you. Don't call me. Don't Instagram. Don't mail me a letter. Don't do nothing. N-U-F-F-I-N-G. Nothing. We done, son. Okay? America, we so polite. Oh, it's got some mental issues and maybe it just needs to work on that. I'll give him another opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, after so many opportunities, Major gonna be like, nah, it's not, it's a wrap, because my existence has limits on it. So you think I'm gonna sit here and be plagued with all of these things that you're projecting towards me to waste my existence on? That's what we're talking about, is making sure we're not wasting time on these types of people creating static in our life, causing us to divert from where we're supposed to be headed towards. So you just got to get more strong-willed, lift some weights in that area where as soon as you recognize the crabs, I'm either going to sting you, throw you back in the water, or just keep it trucking. Just have to drive up over that and keep it moving. So that's how I look at it. So he was making these comments, oh, you got a purse, but like I said, when they saw me with the image, with the same bag, with the stack of money behind me, then people's mind couldn't even fixate on the bag no more, or try to crab mentality, pull somebody down with their words or whatever, or try to, because now the money's talking to them, the image of the money. There's so many people that don't see content anymore for what it is. They see it for what they think they understand it to be, instead of going to figure out what it really is. So people are lazy to read content. Like, they just look at the pictures and then judge them. So the picture was to get you to read the content. Because when I posted some content, people too lazy just to read the content. So the picture is the thing that, it's what they call it. People use the pictures to draw you in. It's just marketing. I mean, if you want somebody to see your stuff, you're gonna have to put some images, because we lazy. We don't like to read nothing. Worst case scenario, you're about to die, you might read the label, figure out how to save yourself. Outside of that, most people are not readers no more. So I think that's something we need to touch up on too. And then also recognizing how much energy these crab people, these energy vampires, actually can remove from your essence. That's the most important part. For people, oh, maybe you sound selfish. Like, nah. You know what? I've lived long enough to recognize now that those types of people, you can't do nothing to help them. You got to keep it moving. I don't care who it is. It might be your mama, your daddy. You can't help them. If they don't fix themselves, it's not fixable. So you just wasting your time, your essence, your energy, whatever you want to call it, on nothing. You're wasting your time. The exterior of our body gives us memories of love. Gives us when we look at somebody, like we remember that person, the skin, the eyes. Y'all remember me how I look, right? So if I come back in another form, you're like, you're not Major. Major got the little goatee thing that never grows into a beard. Major is the dude that's always, on these images. That's not Major. So this is the only Major that you're ever going to know. Even though my energy is going to perceive this and go out and come back and do some other things, this is the only Major you'll ever really recognize. So you can't let that stop you or start you from moving in one direction with a person, because it's a trick. It's like an illusion. Like, we're not even the real people that we look at in the mirror half the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be this person, or you aspire to do this or do that, but we're not even truthful with ourselves half the time to acknowledge where we falling short, where we need to fix, or if we know we falling short, I'm gonna fix it. Now you just procrastinate our way into some other condition. So yeah, this is like a lesson for all of us, so I always say this, I guess I can't never stop saying this. Everybody wants to better themselves, wants something better. Even the dude in the remote jungle of Zaire, Africa somewhere, or some remote tropical jungle. They want more coconuts. I said this the other day. They want more coconuts off the tree. Like, okay, there's 5 up there, but I only got 4. I'm gonna get that last one, right? We driven to do this stuff. We driven to go further to look for the stuff we need, or we driven to do more most of the time. Everybody wants more. Everybody don't do more. So the second part of this is then the motivation, the positivity side, which, a lot of people, we need some positive messages right now, because the world stage is set for doom, gloom, destruction, kill, steal, destroy stuff. It's set for chaos and scrambling around for necessities, and making sure I'm cool while not making sure everybody's cool, kind of stuff. So, like, how long can we roll that footage before that plays out? You know what I'm saying? It's really about the day, the now. Like, right this minute, can I go further? Get that other coconut. Right this minute, can I climb a little higher, get that other stack of bananas? Because, I can do it. It really ain't about, for me anyway, it's not even about anymore what they say is going to happen. I'm getting further past, like, I'm training. And that's one thing good about being out of the States. I don't care if it's Cuba, some Virgin Island, I don't know where it is. If you can just get to Mexico, anywhere, out of the States, you could actually get a breath of fresh air for a hot second and realize with your real eyes what's been playing on the movie stage 24/7. You would all of a sudden see that somewhere else in the world, they're not doing or thinking the same stuff. They're doing life. It's like, in our region, the region I'm from originally, we're getting hijacked. Like, your literal life essence is getting hijacked. It's being hijacked. It's constantly being pulled out of your control. They're trying to pull it out of my control. And when this is happening on it's like a mass psychosis event. Yeah, they trying to head it somewhere. They trying to lead it all somewhere. Got you thinking this organization is doing this. Got us thinking all these billionaires, they doing this. Well, they gonna do what they did anyway. They've been doing this for centuries on end anyway. And before they was doing it, you know, maybe the world was kind of okay. But at any rate, and I'm just reminding myself of something I said on the last live. Maybe we would go into some cultural stuff, with melanated people stuff. I'm gonna have to do that on a whole live and just title that live because that's a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take like 2 days rest after that talk because that's a lot of energy, dissipation, boom, coming out of me. And then I'll be like, when you talk in front of people, even on this type of virtual conferencing, you get depleted of energy because if you're passionate about what you're doing or saying, you believe in it, it's an energy drain. So you gotta go get recharged up. Now, if you speak in front of people all the time, and that's what the live does, it's literally a live. Like as I'm saying it, it's probably not too much lag time. You're actually viewing me live. Like somebody just walk up behind me right now, hit me over the head, you're gonna see it. You're gonna be like, yo, Major, you okay? I mean, it's live. Ain't no editing, ain't no, you mess up and say something stupid, everybody heard it. It is what it is. So it takes a lot of energy out. But back to what I was saying, the place that we got to get to, the positive place. We talked about the crabs. You already knew about that. I was just referencing some posts that I made and some comments people made. And I was like, wow, you would think if they was following my channel, they would kind of know what's going on. So you already know people that post stupid stuff on the comments ain't really following you. They're literally like just waiting for something to bark about. So you got those types of people all around you and in your family too. Seriously, you got to cut that off. Cut that stuff off. I don't know how you got to do it. I know how I did it. It was just blunt, forced trauma. Nope, I ain't dealing with you no more. I just had to do this last week with something. Just cut it off. I ain't dealing with you no more. I ain't wasting my energy. I'm not talking no more. I'm not gesturing. I'm not thinking about what you said. It's done, son. It's like, you know, if you eat steak and it's cooked all the way through, it's done. What do you say? Stick a fork in it, it's done. So, yeah, you gotta learn how to do that, man, because you waste your whole life trying to appease people or trying to stay on that American civility type thing, and you will deplete, drain yourself, and then you be hung out to dry, and ain't nobody gonna come take you down off the clothesline. You know what I'm saying? And I hope this message will sound like it's getting through to some folk, because we all be dealing with this. My dad always used to say this, son, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. And I'm like, at the time I was like, oh gee, where'd that come from? I'm 19, trying to get it, trying to do some things. I got girls calling me back in the day when you could three-way call some people. You hear the little beep, hold on, let me click over. Click. You know, back in the day when phone cord was longer than the power lines outside, go all the way through the house. Remember them days? Yeah. Stuff like that. And for y'all young ones out there, y'all don't know nothing about them kind of phones. Y'all don't know nothing about no rotary dial. Y'all probably don't know about push button. Y'all don't know nothing about pagers, beepers. Y'all got a lot of catching up to do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know nothing about no payphone. Put the coder in there. Have a stack of coders. Call some people. Yep. You got to handle your business on the payphone. Used to be one on every street corner. Now, nothing. So anyway, so now I done told my age, kind of. And now y'all know, I know a couple of things. I got a couple of rocks rattling around up in here. You know, I can drop a couple of pieces, get you some information, and get you straightened out. So for all of y'all that's with me, I appreciate it. For all of y'all that's not with me, I still appreciate it because I'm going to use you. I'm going to use your energy like rocket fuel. I'm My rocket already on the platform, you know. I'm about to push the button. Ain't nobody gonna push my button. So I'll just be using that as rocket fuel, jet fuel, you know, helicopter fuel, whatever you want to say. I'm gonna take that energy and I'm gonna redirect it. And I'm gonna come back. I might hit you in the chest, boom. But I'm gonna redirect it and then elbow to the face, boom. Power drive to the face, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna redirect it and then I'm still on track. So the whole goal here in this life, for everybody listening, like some of y'all may already know, is to write your own narrative. I'm gonna keep harping on that until y'all get it. Write your own narrative, right? Start fastening your thoughts behind the narrative. Start doing the actions of the narrative. When they write a movie script, you don't write a movie script and then nobody puts the clothes on to look like the character. Nobody talks how the character talks. You just keep reading the movie script for 10 years without making a movie. No, I mean, the movie script's written. Now it's got to be carried out. That's the problem with most people. Be talking and barking and ain't doing my dad would say, and can't bust a grape. Can't even bust a grape. Don't have no energy to do nothing. Them people you got to get away from too. The ones that keep talking and don't put no boots on the ground. Just go on and get away from them right now, because them is some of the worst characters right there. You got a talker and not a doer, but then they start quoting scripture too. We'll tell them James 1:22 and 23. I'm rusty, y'all. Be ye not only a hearer of the word, but also a doer of the word. So don't come to me with that book, and then you ain't doing nothing with the book, or you ain't doing nothing the book say. Now, step to me with some scriptures, and then some videos posting you doing the stuff. Send me the video you walking on water. Send me the video you feeding 5,000, okay, with some loaves and a couple of fish. Show me that video. Show me you doing it. Now, I'm gonna pay attention. I'll follow. So if the person ain't doing it and they just talking, get to walking. That's all it is to it. So don't even waste your time with people that talk too much but don't have no action behind themselves, because they ain't nothing but a movie script, a redundant movie script that never plays on the screen and never has any imagery to it. And that's not the kind of people you want to be around. Yeah, I know you guys had three-way calling on cell phones now, but I was just back in the day. I'm kind of Ferrari lane shifting. I just shifted up because I saw that real quick. Back in the day, that was a new tech when, for one, having a phone was new tech. Like, we didn't use the phone. I went over this before on some other videos live back, you know, some months and months ago. But just so some of y'all youngins can understand what's going on, just having a phone at the house, it wasn't even a necessity. I don't even know why we had the phone, because the only thing people was doing was gossiping on there anyway. Your daddy be working, he can't use the phone. Kids at school, they didn't use the phone. We didn't have no program in our mind to use the phone. We didn't have, like, oh, you can call grandma, talk to her. Then I guess we ain't going to see grandmama, because we used to just go see her all the time. Now we just call them, hey grandmama, you okay? Happy Easter. That's it, right? So tech is good as long as it works for your life and promotes you, but it can be very harmful. You can see how over time it done broke down the social order of things, like people-to-people order, just the human activity order. Now you see people texting, and the person they texting sitting right here, and they laughing. I'd be like, smack that phone out your hand, you stupid. You know I can say some choice words, but then they be done cut my channel off. Boom. You sitting right there next to the dude, and you sitting here texting. So, even in Vietnam, stuff be happening. Like in this heavy family-oriented culture thing, we was at the cafe, you know, that's all over here, cafes everywhere. That's the thing, go to a cafe. You could be in the population of 5 little village, it's a cafe there. It's just like having churches in America. 5 or 6 on every corner, that's how the cafe scene is here. So they serious about some coffee over here. We in the cafe and order a drink. Dude on his phone like this, and I hear the video game. And I'm just sitting there looking at dude like, and so we trying to order, right? So I say, malt cafe soda, one cafe with the milk in there, with the it's a sweetener. It's not like dairy milk. It's like a sweetener. It's kind of like cream. So I said one of those. So he's like, okay, yeah. And my wife said something. He's like, she wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, hey, look at this dude. He never looked up. Yo, that's what kind of world we live in right now. So like tech is good as long as it's benefiting your life. But when it starts disturbing, starts creating static, the only problem with tech is you don't know it's creating static. That's the trick part about it. You don't know it's creating a static in your life because you like using it. We like touching it, moving the screen. Remember when they had the QWERTY keyboard where you could type everything with actual characters and little buttons you could spell out? Now you got this screen. You got to be all up on the radiation, you know, touching your fingers, making your fingers feel funny and stuff. Yo, so they transition little at a time. You got your phone used to be for emergencies. You just had one house phone. You had a phone in the kitchen, man. That was it. I guess if, you know, kitchen catch on fire, you call. But the phone was in the kitchen, okay? Used to have a long cord on there, go through the whole house. You'd be on the phone. That was the old cell phone right there. That was my wireless right there with that long cord. Go from the kitchen all the way to the bathroom. That's with an F, BAFROOM, bathroom. Okay, go all the way to the front room, living room, whatever you want to call it. We didn't live in there, but they call it the living room anyway. TV was in there. TV with 3 channels. Yeah, the 3 channels. You had channel 2, you had channel like 5 and 62. Cartoons was Tom and Jerry, Popeye, stuff like that. It wasn't Nickelodeon with 50 million cartoons. No, it wasn't none of that SpongeBob, SquarePants, and none of that. So y'all see how this stuff has progressed. Now, instead of, you know, kind of innocent stuff, and they steered it. They steered us to this like this, purposely, because they know it takes at least a good 10 years of constant programming to get people to accept the different levels of this or that they're trying to inflict or trying to encompass you with. And to me, it's all been a massive effort to keep the power structure in place. Because once you get to the top level, you don't want nobody knocking your blocks off. Okay, so one is I got to make sure you don't even know I'm on these blocks. 2, I got to keep you always busy with all this stuff in life, washing clothes, cutting grass. Now let's talk about this. Who in their right mind? Now I know people gonna say erosion control is why they put grass in. Okay, just think about this for 1 minute. Why would you put grass and make a front yard or a place you live in when it doesn't benefit the user to have grass? The only explanation to me is the oil industry. See, you got all these, you got big oil, you got steel. Let's go back to the late 1800s. You got J.P. Morgan, you got Carnegie and them, you got, the oil tycoon. You got all them, the DuPont family, all them. You got all that stuff, right? They sat down at these meetings and said, how are we going to construct our new kingdom? We done conquered the villages that was there, all them copper-colored peoples. We conquered them because we shipped most of them out of here. We're going to tell them we shipped them in, though, so we can utterly confuse them as to where they're from. Because, of course, we got to make sure that they're not aware that this was their land. We got these processes keep taking place over and over and over again to make sure that little by little, every 10 years incrementally, we wean out this information while we apply this. Some of it we have to make examples of. Yeah, we got to chop a hand off here, hang one here. We got to at least show some pictures of it. Ain't got to really do it. We could just script it in. You know, they've been doing theater for a long time, y'all. Sometimes some of these pictures and images of wars and stuff, they can do that stuff in a studio setting. They do it every day when you watch a movie, because it be moving your thoughts around like, oh, this looks real. So, you know, there's a lot going on here. You got all of these incremental things being carried out on different levels. You got coercion, you got misinformation. They got structures and diagrams for how they do this stuff. Don't think that this is just like some random, your life is kind of just this random thing that just kind of happened because there was a civil war and then all of a sudden Lincoln and nah, man. This stuff been planned out in advance. The best way to subdue a massive group of people isn't physically, it's mentally. It's divide them, it's geographically move things to different places, to move people to different places. The Dust Bowl of 1930s, the Great Depression stuff, what that was designed to do was get all the people that was farming in the cities. Because the new way was control method number 2. It's a progressive thing. Control method number 2 or number 3 or number 5, whichever one it is. Get them in the cities. We can control them better. Then we can juice them. Because now we can levy these taxes on them. They're stuck. They can't provide for themselves. They turn in their tractors and their plows for high-rise apartments in the stock market. Yeah. And then we just play them. We play them like a fiddle on Sunday. You ever heard a fiddle play on Sunday? Probably not. But I was just sounded interesting. But anyway, we get played, man, because all of these different gradual things, man, and then they play it back in his story. Break that word down, history, to his story. Separate it. His story, not her story, not their story. His story. So you got to find out who the his is. Who them his is that put the stories together. When you go trace some of this information, you find out it aligns up with the same groups I mentioned earlier. The big oil, big steel, all the big families, okay, that are in that region or that was in that region, who all teamed up from England. Tally-o, mate, England, okay, that's where they came from, which certain section in Europe is where they all came from. You see where Great Britain is, where the Queen just passed away, okay, that's like an island, man. London and all that, a little joint right there, trying to control the whole world through illusion tactics, through, look, my language right now is currently English, can't get out of it right now. Trying to learn some more Vietnamese, trying to learn some Chinese, trying to learn, so I can communicate differently. But anything that's in that language has already been influenced. Now, prior to the takeover of England, even the Scottish people, okay, all them people was dark-skinned people. Yeah, I went into meddling, I messed with your Scottish Rite thing. Actually, England and all that area, that's upper part of Africa. Just look at the map. Even though it's not the real one, it'll give you some context on where England, London, all that is. The only thing that separates them from the continent of Africa is a little bit of water that goes in between there. But you can tell that all that land used to be joined together. So they've been subduing the world through all of these creative programs that they have inflicted on humanity. And that's why the Queen of England has so much wealth. That's why that little country, what they used to say, the sun never sets on Great Britain or something to that effect. That means 24/7 and twice on Sunday they running campaigns to subdue the world. Countries taking over, starting wars. Look, they don't fight clean. They start wars, internation against internation. So they create a rift, start the war, get somebody ticked off that they fund one side. Then when they got that side funded, then they fund the other side with the arms, with the weapons, so on and so forth, and say, hey, you know, you should take out this loan with us because you're gonna need this money to fight this war. Once the idea of money got parlayed on the world, that was a wrap right there. Because whoever prints the money or takes your gold in exchange for the paper, that was the ultimate trick. That's right there. That was one world order right there. Y'all didn't even know it. Keep talking about, oh, it's coming. One world order government. Nah, yo, man. When you had the first money being printed by an entity that didn't have your best interests at heart, or your country, or your peoples, or your resources, that's when the one world order took place right there. Because prior to that, it was just trade. I got papayas and this, coconuts, and y'all don't have them. So I'm gonna trade you 50,000 of this type of coconut for 20,000 of your bananas, or whatever, because we ain't got those over here. That's all it was trades, okay, commodities and stuff. Then somewhere along the line, somebody said, how can I monetize all this trade? How can I get in the middle of this without creating or starting or running any of this? Somewhere I gotta interrupt, I gotta create some static, cause them to need me, and then trick them into, while needing me, to give up they gold, they resources, they oil, whatever you want to, whatever resource, they diamonds, West Indies trading company, East Indies trading, all them trading companies, that's what they was doing. Making it fashionable for gold to be very fashionable. Making it fashionable for diamonds to be, diamonds are just some rocks. And those rocks come out of a certain place in Africa. To them, those rocks is just rocks. It's like gravel to you in your front driveway. But now if I can trick the world into believing, yo, these are rare. This is a rare thing. Gold is so rare. Once I put that trick out there and market that long enough, and then show it on prominent looking people as the thing you can't get unless you go through me, then I just monetized something that was worthless, and then at the same time, I then control a whole market that wasn't even a market. Kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta figure, none of this stuff that we even use was even fashionable previous. It's been made fashionable by the promotion of civility and not being tribal and so on and so forth. So the biggest threat to these organizations that exist now was tribes. Once they got rid of the tribal intentions, the tribal lands, they tried to turn certain tribes into alcoholics, put you on reservations. And by the way, the people that you see on these reservations currently are not the original ones who are 100% indigenous. Those are the mix between Spaniards and the indigenous peoples that were there, because you can go in a lot of reference books in your local library where they tell a lot of lies. You can find some truth, and the collection of lies in the library, you can find some truth in there because they documented their travels through North America when they found rivers and, you know, like the Lewis and Clark expedition. I'm all over the place because there were a lot, but that's why I'm gonna have to do a live on specific things. I'm just giving y'all like this broad context. You piece some stuff together, jump, like I said, it's some gumbo. If you want to eat all of it, go chew it up, eat it. But you know, if you just take out some shrimps, bubble gum shrimps, and fricassee that and eat that up, that's cool too. Get you a carrot, some onion, I don't care. Use what you can use. But Lewis and Clark and them, half of these people in his story are full of you know what, because they had to have the Aboriginal peoples there. They tricked them into showing them all the stuff. See, Aboriginal peoples of North America, Turtle Island, copper-colored peoples, was already trading and had our trade routes and ships and what big boats crafted from single pieces of wood that could fit like 80 people up in the boats. We had stuff, unsinkable boats like that, navigating the waters way before anybody from what you call Europe, which wasn't called Europe back then, England or whatever, before they was even on the continent, there was already life existing. There was already trade existing. That's how they knew about it, because they knew what was coming out of here. So this was the promised land that might be depicted in the book, the Bible. The promised land, you think, and keep looking over at Israel, where they placed the name Israel on a piece of land over there and call it that since, 1940 something? They've been a state. Okay, just because they use that name and put it over there, don't mean that's where the promised land really is. So you got to research that yourself. You'd be shocked what you can find if you go looking for it. So all of this stuff I'm talking about, Lewis and Clark and them, what's some of the, Christopher, they keep changing the name, Christos Columbus, 1492, sailed the ocean, he didn't sail nothing, he didn't even land over here. He landed down there in Cuba somewhere, he didn't even get over here. So it's a lot of stuff you got to navigate through. Like you're a Moor. If you was a Moor, you was a master navigator on the ocean. Mooring line, on your boat, that's where the word moors. Moors the guidance system for the boat, your moors. But you gotta start looking into some of this stuff, because these truths are the real reality of things. And when the people can't find themselves, I don't care what color you is, when you can't find yourself, where you came from, where your peoples are at, what your language used to be, what y'all used to eat, all this stuff, and you can't find that, you're a lost tribe. You're so lost that you can't even get back to start, because they don't erase the start line. Paper genocide, they've been doing that for a long time. Y'all look that up, paper genocide. They've been writing over yo, man, there's so many levels to this. I can't even mention all this stuff. I can just kind of hit on stuff, but there's so many levels to this. It's unreal. Like, you probably, at this point, you could spend a couple of lifetimes just getting to surface level to kind of figure out, oh, I see how they did this. You know what I'm saying? You can't even imagine somebody else's mind being able to fashion all this stuff the way I'm depicting it. But you could go look up any of this stuff I talked about, just like the slavery thing in America. Yo, man, bamboozled. Y'all go research it. White folk, black folk, Spanish folk, whoever, Russian, whatever, whoever you is listening to me, go research it. And you don't believe what I'm saying, do your own due diligence. But the slavery story was probably backwards. They were shipping more people. Look, if I teach you, if I give you an opportunity, yo, you can become a sharecropper, and you can wear clothes like me, look like, get you a big fine house like ours, and just come over here to Cuba, and we'll pay for the transportation of you and your family. Sign this contract, we'll put you on a sugarcane farm, you'll get to own that bad boy, blah, 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 blah. We'll make all kinds of money together, right? All right, high five, let's go. Loaded up the family, like the Beverly Hillbillies, moved to Beverly Hillbillies. Moving people out was easier than trying to exterminate them, because it's too many. Fight too hard, fight too good. You couldn't physically take over. So you had to do it systematically, contractually. You had to pretend like opportunity, because those people, the people that run things right now, don't never hold up to the end of the agreement. Their contracts, they could care less. So that's what was going on a lot, was more people were shipped out of Turtle Island to other Jamaica, to all these other islands. That's why you see the colors like they are, because we were shipped out of here. Mexico, South America, shipped all down there. Not necessarily by force, actually just by, what you call it, just getting duped into it. Okay, then end up not being the thing that you was signing the contract, so you stuck now. Even if you came all the way back to North America, your land gone, your tribe gone, everybody done sipped on the Kool-Aid. So by illusion, defrauding people, stuff like that, making bogus claims, that's how they was able to get so many people out of here, elsewhere. Because right now, like I said, you go to South America, you're going to see a whole bunch of people like me. I don't care which country you go to, you thought was white or Caucasian people. Nah, because I've been there. I've been to a lot of places. And I was like, me, myself, I was like, first time I got to Panama, you know where the Panama Canal is. First time I got there, I was like, hold my bag tighter, you know, like, a lot of people. You know, I would say some other words and make y'all crack up, but I ain't gonna say it. But like, I'm like, yo, hold up. I don't think I did enough research. I didn't know. Because the dude that brought me down for business, he was Caucasian cat. And then I got to ask him the history behind it. His name is Eric. I still communicate with him today. That was like 12, 13 years ago. Eric, wait a minute. I get off the plane, I get to the airport, I see people darker than me. I see brown people, black people everywhere. I'm confused. He started laughing. He said, well, my mom's white. My dad was Panamanian, but he was mixed. So he wasn't, now this is him telling me, he wasn't a full Panamanian. So I said, what's a full Panamanian, Eric? He look like you. All them people you seen on the street at the airport. That's who they look like. He's like, I'm just partial. So even Panama, Central, all browned people. I can't get out of it. I can't tell you nothing else because that's the truth. And it was told to me by somebody who was white. Because if I show you a picture of Eric, you'd be like, that's Ricky Ricardo from the Lucille Ball show. Yeah, Puerto Rican, and this is no offense to people or your culture. You from Puerto Rico and you look white looking, you still Puerto Rican. I'm not saying you're not, but I'm saying I'm sure if you lived there long enough, you would see a whole bunch of people look just like me or darker than me. And you can't get out of that. You can't, you know, when you start developing neighborhoods and subdivisions and then only housing certain kinds of people due to economic, not constraints, but economic privilege, then you can start to build this infrastructure of people that look alike, and in their mind, later on down the line, 10, 15 years later, their children, you know, 20 years down the line, all of those people are like, we're Puerto Rican, and we look like this. Because the programming, it duplicates itself automatically. So if you create an area where a certain group of people can't afford to live there, but a certain group of people can, then you heavily populate that area with the same looking people, then they claim that they those people. They own the press, they own the media, because we wasn't interested in none of that. We didn't have to do all that. We just tribally communicated our stuff. Well then, now the world sees Puerto Ricans as Ricky Ricardo on the Lucille Ball show. Even in black and white, he got to look like a white guy. You never saw any Puerto Ricans on TV that was dark skinned. Matter of fact, you would watch, what's one of the shows, The Lone Ranger. If you old enough, remember the Lone Ranger show, let me hear you say, yeah. And I don't know why my dad, to this day, still watches those Westerns as if that's a good thing. He loves Westerns. The only problem is, the guys that were shooting Indians, we was the Indians. Yeah. So he was never aware. I had to tell him that recently. He's still gonna watch the Westerns, but this is true. This is truth stranger than fiction stuff. So don't get offended. Just go look it up. And you know, I might lose viewers, and you know, at this point, whatever. You know, truth is the truth. But the Lone Ranger with Tonto was the sidekick of the Lone Ranger. Tonto the Indian wasn't even a real Indian. See, the word Indian, you take the first part, indigenous, not American Indian or Native American. No. to be native means you was just born there. It don't mean you from there. But to be aboriginal, oh, you're a part of the land, you just there. You was already there. So, and I'm sure everything originated in Africa somewhere. So I'm not even going that far back in historicity. You know, I'm just going, keeping it right here where we can attach some of this stuff to present day functionality of how the world works. We still in trick and illusion. And that's why I'm doubling back to, you know, like stuff's all around you. These people are all around you, causing the static, getting you sidetracked, keep getting you off your game, putting you on their game, and then game on again. You running your life out of, you're running out of life instead of running into it. You know what I'm saying? Running away from it instead of running to it, kind of thing. So I'm just trying to give some context. This wasn't a Black history lesson. This was just a, you know, I get to rambling, and I have some thoughts, and I have a little information, and I just put it out there, and I hope it helps every people group, because if we don't learn how to get along together, what's that going to be like? That's what's causing all this stuff you're seeing happening, is the master puppeteers keep doing this with us, keep pulling the strings. But you got some deep-seated programming that, yo, I don't know, because see, that's how they have to keep changing lanes so fast. They got these new agendas out where now they got the dudes dressing like girls and the girls dressing like dudes and all this stuff, and they promoting that, you know, and stuff. So they keep, the reason why they're doing that is not to, so that you can do it, it's just to keep the lanes changing. So then you got the politics, you got that agenda, you got this agenda, you got all these narratives working around you, against you, while you think you just trying to pay your bills and stuff and make ends meet and all that. They putting boundaries within boundaries within boundaries around, like concentric rings of security around your mind, so much so that you can't never get out of there. You know, you boxed in at all times. So the whole purpose of me talking is to just unwrap some of this, let you digest the pieces that you need to digest so you can make moves where you need to make moves. That's it. That's it. I hope it helps somebody. I hope, you know, because truth is truth. Like, you can't bypass it. And in order to find truth, you have to go, you hear what I said, in order to find truth, you have to go find it. You can't have it brought to you. You can't have it given to you and told to you, and then you convinced it's the truth through somebody. You have to go search. Even the book tell you, seek and ye shall find. It don't say be lazy, sit back, somebody give you a book and then follow it. I don't care which book. It don't say that. Seek and ye shall find, okay? So find what? The truth. You can't find the truth unless you seek it, unless you journey it. Seeking is your journey. Okay, so if you're not seeking, you're not on a journey. You're like you're like a fish in a fish tank. And at any moment, somebody put the net in there and grab you up. But if you was in that ocean, little less chance somebody might grab you with that net. You might go a little longer here. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to be the fish in the fish tank, all boxed in. You want to be in the ocean. You know, and if life ends there, at least I did it on my own narrative in the ocean I want to be in. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. You don't have to look at it the same way. That's just me. But let me look at some of these comments. I didn't bring my spectacles to spectate with. Let's see. Indoctrination. Let's see. Yeah, it's true. Melissa just said on the African continent, other foreign countries who live close to nature, they live longer. That's a true statement. The air's cleaner, the water's less contaminated, and they don't have as much static energy coming from negative people. Although in every tribe, even there's an Uncle Rico, Auntie auntie, whatever you want to call it, Aunt Lulu, there's always somebody up in there, but not on the level we have to live around. Just like that Wi-Fi signal go through your house to every room in the house, and wherever you got that device, it'll let you connect even outside. That's how people's energy be connecting to us if we're not aware that that's what's going on. So you don't want to be picking up the wrong transmissions and disturbing. Look, if you just wanted to peace, be still, kind of, and you want everything just to be quiet, it's never going to happen. You can speak that all you want, but the boundaries and the limits that's been placed around us aren't allowing that. So if you don't go outside those boundaries and those limits somewhere, you're never going to have peace of mind. You're never going to be at peace for a minute. This world don't let you be at peace for that long anyway. You would have to go search for peace. That's where the Buddhist monks be up in the pagodas, way up in the mountains somewhere away from everybody. They got like 52 million stairs to get to the top. That was put there on purpose, so you would definitely not want to walk up there to limit access to them. And then they up there peaceful, getting through to their real self, and they're such a peaceful place, they can actually tell their body to shut down, and they can get up out of here clean without even going through pain and agony and then leaving this spot. Because if you could actually say, I'm finished here, and then just go, wouldn't that much be rather better than being tormented with some ailment and then all this pain and agony, and then you go? Because your energy travel on after this. So, I can't call what's going to happen to me, and neither can you, but you can call what you do about what may happen to you. You can have some type of input there, like you can call your shots until you can't call them no more. So I'd rather attempt that than just be taking shots. You know what I'm saying? Shot callers call shots. 3, if I miss and hit the rim, yo, give me the ball again, I'm gonna try it again. I don't care. But if I don't ever take 3, man, that's just an empty existence. So either you're gonna be a 3-point attempter, or you're gonna be a 3-point thinker without no action and never go nowhere, never even step on the court. You know what I'm saying? Just all be in your mind. So wake up out of your stupors, get up out of your old, look, New Year's resolutions don't work. But if you're gonna attempt it, do it before the new year get here, so you don't get in the same energy of failure. Do it after. Don't even do New Year's. Why? Why bother? Why are we celebrating going into another year when we're still doing the same activity in that year? What's there to celebrate? Now, I would like to celebrate because I got to another level. Yeah, I made it. That's what I'm celebrating right now. Made it to another year, so now I can work this new level. But if you're on the same level or you're going backwards, you ain't even doing, this ain't even making sense. Well, insanity, the definition of, is doing the same actions, expecting different outcomes, means you're insane. So, unless you want to be categorized as that, or maybe you don't even know that's what you're doing, I just told you, so now you wake up. Yo, let's make some changes, people. Let's go ahead and do this thing. I mean, I'm here talking to y'all for an hour and 9 minutes. That's by choice. But that's an hour and 9 minutes I can't get back. You know what I'm saying? So this got to go. This got to get in there. It's got to get in you. You got to push this. Like I said, one piece of what I said, got to be something in this gumbo you can use. And I'm expecting you to use it, because I need to be re-energized knowing in the comments, yo, Major, that thing you said, yo, man, that's what I did it, and it's pumping. You know what I'm saying? Don't just do this for entertainment purposes. Don't just listen to this stuff for, because it's Major. Who am I? I'm just a dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, imagery is imagery, Y'all don't really know me. It's virtual. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't been with me for 20, 30 years. Y'all don't really know me like that. So even this stuff's a trick. But like I said, I try to disclose as much as possible so that the content that I'm putting out there at least can resonate with people enough to cause a good change to occur. Even if it's just one little change, you ain't changing nothing until you start the change. So to start is the change occurring. So that's what we need a lot of, especially in the world, but definitely in America. The change, you got to be the change. I don't care if there's 2 people change. That can influence a whole bunch of folk. So the message is clear. It's about understanding who's around you, what kind of interference they running, causing your life to shift where it's not supposed to be, or keeping you from going where you need to be. Understanding where you come from and what's going on around you, why everything is like this. Diving into historical information to figure out really where you need to place your mind based on the bamboozlement. Because if you think that everything was just like they said it was, you're totally in bamboozlement zone. Your life is the essence of being bamboozled. That's the only energy you can put out. You can't get in certain things and certain aspects that are good in this life because you're still vibing and vibrating on what they programmed us with. Okay? And then 3, it's the action part. Do something about this stuff. Don't just sit on the information. Don't just take all this huffing and puffing I'm doing and then sit there and, that was a good message. That's what people do on church Sunday. Oh, Pastor showed it, turned up today. Boy, do you see that suit he had on? Boy, them shoes, them Florsham shoes he had on, them lit. Oh, man. And Miss McMahon and them had that new hat on with the bird up there tweeting. Oh, that was dope. Yo, man, the message was about helping people. But we eyeing in on Miss McMahon's hat with the birds tweeting on it. And them Florshams and them Sandsabel pants he got on. And if you're not old enough, you don't know what Sandsabels are, or Florshams, or Stacey Adams. Sorry, those are shoes. And Sandsabel pants was these straight. Anyway, look it up, Google it, it'll tell you. But anyway, we got a lot to digest, take in, but somehow we got to do it. You can't move forward until you know what your backwards was. You don't need to go too far backwards because you'll get lost. So just incrementally, like they do to us, incrementally go back. That would be my suggestion. Unpackage a little bit at a time so you don't blow a circuit. You know what I'm saying? Because if you find out too much information, too many lies, that's a song by that dude Kim. Too many lies, Kim? Anyway, let me get back on track. You find out too many lies too quick, it will also blow some circuitry in your mind because you'll figure out how much stuff that you was attached to within that lie and around that lie. You'll be like, yo, everything's a lie. There's truth in there. It's just co-mixed and co-mingled with the lies. That's how crafty they was with the thing. So, just know that. Just know that anything that is printed in English, you got to really dig in there and go beyond that. You know, I'm not telling you to learn Greek or Hebrew or any of that stuff, or any other language. But if it's necessary to figure this stuff out, you gotta do it. You gotta do your own due diligence. But let me see if I got any questions. It's all a bunch of lies. Vatican Bank, Jack said, picking up what majors land. Oh, that's what's up. Federal Reserve. Yeah, all them banks, that's all the same families. You know, you got family infighting too with the banks. That's where you get, that's why you got, the SWIFT code being challenged by international money trading code being challenged by BRICS nations, new money layer system thing, and all this, that, and the other. So, anything to do with banks, that shows you. So, what was his name? The cat that the Rothschilds. The original Rothschild dude. That wasn't a real last name either. I think he picked that name. He said his biggest statement of his career is, let me control. I don't care about our country's people, government, this, that, or the other. Let me control their money, and I will control it all. So go look up what he said about, how the banking system. That's the tentacles of. That's your evil Knievel right there, because, and that's what's being challenged, a lot of stuff's being challenged right now. That's why you wars and rumors of wars, because other folks is tired of the stranglehold. So, there's a lot going on. I'm not going to get into all of that right now like I was about to, because I'll be so tired I won't be able to go enjoy the day. I'm going to go for a walk. Yeah, hey, let me tell y'all this on a health tip real quick. Start walking more, even if you're a young person. Here's why. So my heart doctor told me something. He melanated cat. I didn't even know he was melanated until I met him. But anyway, he told me something. He said, yo, as you get older, your arteries get older. It's like rubber tires, and they start wearing out, start cracking and stuff. So the only way to keep those fluid and loose and opened up is, he said, think of using your body as a pump, like when you pump your arms like this. So I'm pumping the fluids through my veins, right? Like I'm a pump. My legs can be pumps. My arms can be pumps. The more pumping you do on a regular basis, the more expansion you get through your veins and your arteries. So your aging process starts automatically closing those, and your blood pressure goes up. But if you walk more for a long period of time, 30-minute walk or something like that, an hour's cool, you will start to open your veins up in your arteries and start to lower your blood pressure automatically. That's just a tip, okay? That's something everybody should be on. And I know the way they got life fashion, it's hard to get that time to do that. But you got to wake up earlier, stay up later. You need to watch your health, because that's your ultimate wealth while you're here. That's your vehicle body maintenance. This suit that gets us around, that helps us pick up stuff and walk and move and go to the stove, drive the cars, all this stuff. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That kind of operation has to have maintenance. And y'all be changing the oil in your car every 3 months, every 3,000 or whatever. When you gonna change the oil in your body? When you gonna fast? When you gonna just drink some water for 3 days? Stop drinking all this soda pop, liquor and stuff. It's okay to have a drink every now and then, have a little coffee, this, that, and the other, but every day, a pot of coffee a day? Come on, y'all. I'm hitting some people in the chest right now, but come on, let's get on track here. Yeah, the love, real love, be hurting sometimes, because you gotta cut people, make them bleed a little bit, make them go get the bandage, put it on the cut, call some action to occur. So that's all I'm doing right now. Hurt you a little bit with some words, double-edged sword stuff, but hopefully it'll cause you to go get the treatment for that. That's what I'm trying to do. Every day ain't perfect, but I do my best. That's all we can do. Do the best you can do, but keep pushing, okay? Keep pushing. So let me look through some of this stuff real quick. They say that airlines fly longer distances, but we are I've been saying that for years, because I fly international a lot, like coming over here. Oh, that's dope. Let me hit that real quick. That's dope. I'm kind of excited about that. Somebody's on you're on my frequency. Who's that? Moon Goddess 777. Okay. When I fly overseas, every time. First time I did it, I was just stoked. Oh, wow, I'm going to Central America. When I started coming to Asia, though, 22-hour trip, right? You're on the plane for 15 hours, the first flight. And then You're on the plane, and once you land in Korea or Japan or somewhere, you're on the next flight for 5 hours. So you end up 24 hours in the air. One day I'm on the plane, I'm just looking out the window, and I see all this ice down there. It look like ice rivers, ice this, ice again. So in my mind, I'm like, where are we? Is this Siberia? Is this Russia? Is this the Antarctic? What is this? Like for some hours, look out the window, it's all white, ice stuff down there. So I'm like, Arsenio Hall, stuff to make you say, I look on the map in the plane, it shows you where you're flying, supposedly. And it shows you all these countries or names of stuff you're flying on. Czechoslovakia and Kudashanashi, and I'm saying, I ain't never seen none of these names nowhere or heard these names nowhere before in my life. They just made them up. Somebody sneezed, Hachu. There's the country of Hachu over here. We flying, you see the plane on the map, on the screen, flying over all these places. You looking out the window, you see all ice down there. As if these are real places down there on the ice. Come on, man. And then, supposed to be flying at 500 miles an hour, this, that, and the other. I don't think so, y'all. I think, like Moon Goddess said, I think they be flying a pattern of some sort. And you have to trick everybody in this thing, so you have to train even the pilots how to navigate the way they're supposed to navigate. That's easy to do as long as you train them all the same way. They don't question because it's the training. You got to follow the guidelines in the book and turn this gauge and do this, do that. Okay, so it's easy to trick everybody when you start out with the trick. You can't never let them know how close we are to the other countries. So when y'all fly with these new planes we're putting up here, they go around some stuff. I really think they be going around in a pattern. And then when they get so many patterns done, because the weather or this or strategic reasons why they gotta fly this way, then they come in for a landing. Yeah, I think that's a true statement. For me it is anyway, because I've been on that vibe for a minute, like, yo, this, I don't think we're supposed to be in there this long. I don't even think so. You can leave from your hometown, you go from Atlanta, Georgia to Texas in like an hour, like 45 minutes, if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? We were at the airport recently. The flight was late. We was late leaving. My wife even picked up on it. She did to me, so she don't follow English that close, but she does. But you know, if they're talking fast, she won't get it. Just like I won't get it, them talking fast and getting me. So we leave 30 minutes or almost 45 minutes late to get on the plane, but then they said our arrival time is only going to be like an hour. Well, it was like to leave at the normal time was already like an hour and 30 minutes. So now we leaving late, but we're going to get there in 45 minutes. So she looked at me like, huh? And I looked at her like, what? They got the turbos on today, huh? So yeah, man, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? What else is on here? Diamonds don't even have high vibration like granite. Yeah, maybe that's what's up in Vietnam, because everything around here is granite. All the flow, you know, the floors is granite. They be having the walls granite. Look, they even put granite on this. They got granite on the floor where the cars go. Look, that's granite. The benches are granite. This whole spot is granite. I didn't even know granite had a high vibration. So that's dope info. I'm going to look into that. Let's see. They have put up walls recently all around the Federal Reserve in D.C. Yeah, they have to, because that's the fort. That's the fort, Fort Knox. Let's see. The needs and the needed are, I don't get that one. Like these designers with these horrible looking clothes and hide behind their names, but they are the same groups that enslaved, done all the evil, etc. Probably so. Yeah, $5 Indians. Who said that? Yeah, $5. Y'all go look up the $5 Indians. Moon Goddess is on it. $5 Indians are the mixed breed people and the Europeans who were mixing with the real peoples of Turtle Island, North America, And because the Aboriginal people didn't speak the language, the English, or read the newspapers, the Europeans that were in here got to purchase for $5, kind of like purchasing a citizenship as a 1/4 or whatever percentage Indian. And that being the case, then the United States government, Inc., then gave them land for being an Indian, because the land was Indian land. So to own it, you needed to be an Indian. So they sold European people, it's called a $5 Indian, they sold them paperwork saying that you Indian. That's how they paper genocided a lot of folks. So you see the people that are Indians today that are really light colored, almost look Caucasian, they would get angry at me for saying that you're not the original Indians, even though they still keep the culture. But it's true that they're not. They're like the mixed breed. You're the mixed breed of the original people, which ain't nothing wrong with that. However, you know, for truth to be told, it had to hurt. And if you Indian or your people's Indian, but you're not copper colored, you're a partial. And anytime you're a partial, that means you're not full. So everybody just had to line up with the truth. Either you got a full glass of water or you don't. Either you got a full tank of gas or you don't. You know, you just got to call it. Can't be at 1/4 of the tank and then say my tank is full. That's not the truth. Anyway, I just saw that. That's cool. Let's see, what is $5? Oh, Eartha asked that. Okay, I just explained it, so I'm glad I explained a little bit. Go look that up. They changed the maps. Yeah, they changed the maps, the names. You know, a lot of the names, though, are still the same. They just pronounce in English. They changed the spelling. Like if you say Wichita, Kansas, Wichita, that part was a tribe, Wichita. Okay, the Wichita tribe. Wichita, Kansas. You got, what's another one? Even the word Missouri. If you say it differently, a different pronunciation, it might sound like Missouri or Missouri. It might be a tribal name. What's some of the other, a lot of the names throughout Florida are Spanish names, because when they came and took over Florida, the Spaniards, they turned the civilization over there into Spanish colonies, just like they did in Cuba and everywhere else they go. That's where you get the Spanish tile roof, the different designs of the buildings, the food cuisine change and gets mixed with the Aboriginals, and they bleed your existence out slowly over time by infusing their culture in while they, you know, making babies with you and your people. And then you get the lighter colors, and it just keeps going and going and going and going. One day, all the dark colors are gone because the lighter colors are the only ones there. So I'm glad my 4-year-old got that Asiatic. She'd get brown. She'd get real brown. So we still here. My other children mix. They brown when they get some sun too. But yeah, it's a lot of mixing been going on. And when I was mixing, I wasn't in the know about all of this mixology. So, but it's all good. We still just people at the end of the day. Let's see. Yup. Also, they didn't have ships back then that were capable of coming from Africa to here. Only had boats, scientifically speaking. Yeah, you're right. So Moon God has been up on that study game. The ships back then, the only boats that were made that could navigate the seas without sinking were the Aboriginal boats that were like on the East Coast, some on the West, but the East Coast, the Carolinas, they was making large boats. Like I said, they would see like 80 people, and they were hewn from single pieces of wood. So remember I was asking in the video, I was like, yo, something done happened on this earth. URF, where are all the big trees at? Because if trees just keep growing and growing and growing, we should be seeing redwood trees, like in California, like they got trees that they got holes carved through on the road. You could drive through the tree. That's how big the dang tree is. Where them trees at? Because they was using trees like that, and they would carve a whole canoe-looking ship out of it. They said it would be about 5 to 6, like 6 feet 7 feet wide and maybe 20, 30, sometimes 40 foot long, all carved out of a single piece of wood. So just imagine that. And then it was built in such a fashion, kind of flat looking, you couldn't sink it. And so a lot of the Spaniards and the Europeans was coming over and they marveled at these ships, and they took a lot of those designs and put it on their bigger ships. But yeah, you couldn't sail from in those ships that we seen on what's the name of the movie, Pirates of the Caribbean. You see all the time when the storm comes, they ships sink anyway. That's proof in the movies that them boats don't work very well. So, but yeah, it was very hard to, especially go from Africa, from the Ivory Coast or something, all the way over here to America on the open sea like that. Nah, with people in there, with supplies in there, with no radar, no way to tell when the storm's coming. Come on, man, y'all gotta wake up out of that. That's right, wake up out of that. That's a nice fabrication right there. Nice. Let's see. 400 years of not remembering and under mind control, believe the lies. Yeah, probably 400 years. Let's see. Yeah, the Mississippians, there's another tribe. The Geechee Gullah, yep, there's another one. Oh, you own it, Moon Goddess. I actually met some of the Geechee Gullah people, and I went to their lands that's in South Carolina, and to get to their lands, look, y'all, you ever go to South Carolina and want to visit the Gullah Geechee people, there's still a queen over there. They still have a queen of the tribe. You can look them up too online. If you actually go to South Carolina to get to their island, you got to get on a boat, leave your car, take all your belongings in the boat. The boat navigates you through the waters. You will see dolphins and stuff in there, freshwater dolphins, all kind of. You're driving through all these different boats and all kinds. Because I did it, so I know. My sister from Cali, they used to live out there. They was living on the island, and you get off the boat, then you get all your stuff out, then you on the island. So once the boat go, you got to schedule another boat to get back to civilization. That's how they was out there. They used to control all the East Coast. All that stuff was theirs. But now you got Myrtle Beach, you got Tybee Island, and all these other places. Now they done took over. They done pushed the islanders off, bought their properties out, gave them that paper in exchange for, you see what I'm saying? And then once they cut your supply routes off and start surrounding you, start flanking you, they can cut your economy off, because then your fish get gobbled up, your way of life gets changed severely, and then you end up selling out because you need the paper to exist now. So that's how easy for the developers to come in there, and then they come up in there and develop, put the high-rise buildings, put the timeshares, they do all that stuff and institutionalize the spot. The tribe is done. It's a wrap. They ain't got no lands, you ain't got no tribe. So y'all check out the Gullah Geechee people, South Carolina. That's who was running that whole East Coast before there was a Myrtle Beach and this, that, and the other. Let's see, what else? They use the woman's gifts. Moon Goddess, you on this thing. You need to pop up a channel so I can watch. Shoot, do that. You on it. You need to sub my channel too. Because I'll tell you, all of y'all, when you got content, you can use my channel to post your stuff so people can get that knowledge. Put it in the comments after the videos post, because that's dope. I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel to show more people this technique. Thanks for the go on with that. Do that. Don't think about it. Just do it. You can think about it later. Start that channel. That's Miss. I can't read it because I'm, the light's funny. Let me walk over here. There we go. Miss Demeanor. Like Missy Elliott. Miss Demeanor. I like it. Okay. Double. Our oppression will never give us tools books or the blueprint too. Okay. History makes future. Yep. His story. Trying to see. Trying to see if I see anything. Don't even get into the maritime laws. Oh yeah, that's a whole nother. Yeah, y'all. If y'all really want to get twisted, yeah, maritime laws. That's what governs us, peoples, as humans, as cargo, lost on sea. That's why they had to create a berth certificate. You get a berth. That's where the berth is the place where the boat docked. They call it the berth. Okay, and then you had to show a bill of lading to remove the cargo from the ship. Just like they got you, our moms had to sign the birth certificate, sign the cargo over to the state so they could receive the cargo. Birth canal. Canal have to do with water. The woman's water broke. Then the baby comes, the cargo comes out the birth canal. Panama Canal, where the ships roll. So maritime law is really what governs and where all the other laws come from. We rolling up on 1 hour and 30 minutes. This is a long live. Let's see. Y'all cool, got all these comments. Y'all got so much content on here. Y'all doing the thing. Let's see, the Asians are ethnic, right? What do you mean are ethnic? Asiatics, I'm Asiatic. A lot of brown people are Asiatic and think they African. If you caramel colored, you might be Asiatic. If you got high cheekbones, you Asiatic. My great grandmother was Filipino. She was dark skinned with long black straight hair, born and raised in the Philippines. So a lot of us are Asiatic peoples too. But if you think you're from Africa and they tell you go back to Africa, then they will get you off the land probably where you originated from. So that would be the whole go back to Africa theory, where most of us aren't necessarily, our closest ancestors are not from Africa, unless you know that. Caucasian people are more African than we are, meaning Europe is at the top of Africa, and that's what I mean. So if there was some go back to Africa conversation, it wouldn't be me necessarily. It would be more Caucasian people are from that region than they're not naturally from North America, Turtle Island. They do some brief research, you already know that. And then if you talk about the Irish and stuff like that, a lot of those areas had black kings and queens prior to invasions and prior to, the whole lifespan of the earth with people being here it's always somebody trying to take your stuff. And if they succeed in taking your stuff, can't blame them. They're going to turn it into their stuff. And then they're going to rewrite everything and then pretend like they did all of that great stuff that you did. And then they're going to put their stuff on top of that. And then you're going to have this other civilization. That's how it works. I mean, ain't no real anger towards this group or that group. The only anger would be that you don't know this information. So you keep getting stuck in the box. So the whole point is to get this thing free. Your body ain't going to never be free. It's not meant to be free. It will die here. Your mind, your soul. Okay, where's your soul? Most people will say down here somewhere. Who knows where it's at? But I would think for me, it's somewhere in here, because that's the memory bank. That's the processing unit. That's the one that can help me meditate and kind of exempt myself from certain things other people might not be able to exempt themselves from, because your mind creates or maintains the conditions around you. So you can be happy with the stuff you got, even if you're poor, or you can be sad that you're poor. You could be just as happy being poor, not know you're really poor because you're so wealthy in here. Anyway, that right there was a whole video I just spoke about. So it's all about perspective. let me get to the end of all this stuff and start go from the dot and check out the Black Knights of Europe. Yeah, that's what's up. We all collective unconditional love. Yes, and that's what's important. Moon Goddess 776 just said it's really about the collective. So if you white, Latino, Russian, Asian, it don't even matter. Because at the end of the day, the unified energy is what wins the day. It's not about the color or the tribe necessarily. It's like the energy, the frequency, the vibe. If that's all copacetic in unity, some kind of unity, then you got something popping. As long as it's all this back and forth, and oh, we eat rice, and over here, oh, we eat potatoes. Well, we don't want your rice, and oh, we don't want your potatoes. That's that's how you cause energy to be dysfunctional, is by making people regurgitate the lie. Now you can have the truth being used as a lie. Depends on how you frame the truth. And you can keep it as close to the truth as you want to and put one little piece of lie and the whole thing is misdirected. So either the truth is the truth and you say it like a TI is, or it's something else and you're just playing games with yourself. So let's see. Oh yeah, Braxton, yeah. He's talking about the book Russian Icons. And I saw that book some years ago. I meant to get one. You probably can't even buy it now. But all of y'all, I'm talking to everybody. I don't care who you is on here. If you want proof of this type of stuff, go look up books like that, Russian Icons. You'll see a lot of pictures from Russian cathedrals, documented photos. Nobody made these. This stuff is from places in Russia. These pictures are still over there. They got a black Mary, if that was her name. They got a black lady, brown lady, holding a brown baby on most of the pictures. Or they might have the person that you would call the Messiah is the color brown. That's not me just saying it. That's in Russia. What's the president over there's name? What's his name? Putin. He know all about this. Look, y'all think they don't know. They know. They know all about this. They know what's going on. All of these people know, man. They all know. And it don't put one group higher than the other, but there's a reason why everything's been fabricated as such and twisted backwards as such, because sort of the power control structure that gain control can stay in control. Power, that's all it is. So of course you got to surround yourself with like-minded people so you can stay in power. So that's why you give them the higher privilege than you do all the other people that you just took over. It's real easy to see how this all works. I don't know. They really did a doozy. So you got to give them that. They ran some serious game. What they always say, don't hate the player, hate the game. Is that how they say it? I can't remember. Or don't hate the game, hate the player. Nah, don't hate the player, hate the game. Who created the game is the one you be targeting, not the player. Player. Oh, that's a good one, Sonia Gutierrez. Don't you think religion is just control? Well, I will say this. Religion probably started out as a format to organize the tribal mindset towards the objective. Now, what it has morphed into has probably been control. Because stories used to be, the so-called religion or the spirituality used to be spoken and demonstrated, not written. It was never written. It was always orally transmitted from the ancestors, from the older, the god mother, okay, the grandmothers. They transmitted a lot of the information. The grandfathers father, he's the oldest in the tribe, put him at the top echelon because he deserves to be at that spot. He's there to govern through the experiences and the knowledge that he's attained and becoming an elder or older person. So the same with the grandmother. So present day religion, if that's what you're asking, yeah, I believe it's a huge control program, because in America, why do you need so many church buildings? Why do they all seem to replicate themselves? Why is it that when the fashion changes, they all seem to change? Now, in the black churches, you want to use the word black, it's a brown church, whatever, melanated people's churches, the pastors seem to now suit up eloquently with these expensive suits. And then on the white church side or Caucasian church side, they got the more relaxed fit now, sports coat with the shirt open, sometimes with some jeans with the shirts, and they got some loafers on or whatever. They don't do the suit thing no more. Somehow that's all been communicated to all of the denominations, where they all start to resemble the same look. So you could just look at that, and then you could say this. There was one church that I know, it was called IHOP in Missouri, somewhere in Missouri. They kept that building open 24/7. I think that if they're still in existence, they kept it open 24/7. That's the only spot that I know of that would resemble some type of kingdom. Because if you're a part of a kingdom, then you should have access to the kingdom stuff, right? And if it all belongs to God, then why it got to be under lock and key, keeping it away from those who are in the kingdom? So if you needed help or refuge, are you able to run to your kingdom and get refuge? Do I hear crickets, or is the answer no? That should answer a lot of your questions as far as North American style stuff, because you can easily just see what's going on by seeing what's going on. So if I don't have access to my father's house, I don't have a key, then I guess it ain't my house. I guess it's just another form of business, because they lock their stuff up at the end of the day too, and you don't have no access. Private company. Well, don't tell me I'm in the kingdom of God and I have access to speaking with the Father, but then I can't go in none of his buildings when I want to. I can't get no real help there. They won't give me a job. Let's see, I can't come share my business venture there. I can't use the facilities. So is it really your father's kingdom, or is it whoever got the keys kingdom? So that would probably be more or less the question to ask is it control? Yes, but I would say specifically it's mental control, because it don't even give the illusion of you got access except on Sunday and Wednesday and choir practice. After that, you got to get out, and we about to lock the door. Let's see. Hope that answered the question. Panama is in Indian. Okay. Old people are the keepers of knowledge. Yeah, that Avatar movie probably is really real. They like to tease us. Actually, they laugh when they do these movies, because they'll be showing you some real information. Actually, it was just the Moon Goddess was talking about the movie, the Avatar. They'll be showing you some real information, and you'll either think it's a good kids movie, or a good action movie, or a good sci-fi movie. But if y'all look at Star Trek, like I said before, Captain Kirk was using taser, right? Stun people, knock them down. He could even said it where they didn't die. And then he flipped his flip phone. Hey, Scotty, beam me up. So, hop, skip, and jump. When did they start having flip phones? Look like that little taser. When did they start having tasers the police use? They already had that technology, but they'll laugh at you because they'll put it in a movie and know you don't think it's now and dupe you and predictive program you. So even when the technology comes, you don't double back and say, yo, I used to see that on Star Trek, man. Them jokers had that before. 50 years before they even put it on the street where I could see it, they already had this technology. That's how they get down. That's how they get down. Braxton Spice said you might want to look up Pastor Thaddeus Matthews. He's known as the cussing pastor. Well, every idle word you speak, blah, 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 shall be. No telling. You got cussing preachers, you got pastors that want this money, Kenneth Copeland type people, Creflo Dollar, ain't got 2 quarters to rub, buying jets and helicopters and planes. But it's the people who been bamboozled that keep these people in business. If everybody just didn't show up at church Sunday, but church is so compelling to go to because it say in the book, you're supposed to assemble yourselves together, and you're not supposed to assemble yourself together with unbelievers. So that's a no-no. You got to go to church. So that's a hard play. Once you got them coming, it's like guaranteed business. And you notice churches, if you ask any of your pastors, if you got a pastor, hey, what type of organization is this? Is this a 501c3? And they'll be like, how do you know that? Well, because federal government allows churches to do the documentation to become 501c3 private or public charities in order not to pay federal taxes. Well, house of worships were never supposed to pay taxes anyway. You didn't have to pay that anyway. But when you get convinced that you have to do it this way, you follow the guidelines from your governing government, the place that governs the mental, and then you sign on the dotted line as a organization, 501c3, public charity. Go look it up. There's a couple of different 501c's. I used to have one back in the day. That's why I know about it. So if you're a church, you have to sign it acknowledging that you can't speak about politics and certain types of things from the pulpit, from your platform. And when you do that, you sign it. In exchange for that guarantee that you won't do these things, you then get to be exempted from paying federal tax on all the contributions. So what type of entities are these? If you have to get permission of any sort from any governing body, then you can't really say that belongs to God, unless the people who print the money and put "In God We Trust" on the money is the God you're talking about. Because then it does make sense. It makes a lot of sense now that the "In God We Trust" people are the same ones that make the churches sign a 501c3 form in order to be exempt from federal taxes. I don't know if y'all knew that, but any church organization means corporation. So you got it organized so you can cooperate together with the governing agency that's over you. So yeah, I hope that answers the question of that a viewer just posed. Do I think that religion, now you say religion all over the world as a control tool? Yeah, not just America, wherever it's at. They got real Buddhist people, and then they got ones that make money off of it. You got real Islamic people, and then you got ones that make money off of it. You got real Christianity, well, I don't know. You have to go find that. There again, you have to go seek that out. Because anybody who's doing the stuff, you're probably not going to see them on TV or on a street corner with a building. The real doer of, if you want to use a word or the term or the title, God, look up God as a title just like Lord is. Lord Buckingham, Lord Rothschild, all these are titles. They still originated from England, okay? Check the source. So even you keep saying Lord in the book, that's not the actual name. And I went through this before, and I probably ruffle all kind of feathers. I keep losing subscribers. I can't help. The truth is the truth. I don't care if you call it, if you spell it T-R-U-F. It's still the truth. Just go look up the stuff. You can't change my name for me because you speak a different language and then expect me to hear you calling me in a crowd. So if you know your master's name, I'm just using the words that's in the book, the one I know best. If you use that, but you don't know the appropriate name, ain't you going to be calling somebody and they ain't going to respond to you? Maybe that's why prayers don't get answered that much. I ain't even trying to meddle. I'm just truthing right now. Might be hitting some people in the chest. That's what you need. But think about it. If there ain't no letter J in nobody's vocabulary or language until about 450 years ago, how could you come up with the name that you use? Even you say John, Joshua, everything was pronounced with a Y sound prior to the letter J, the invention of J. Everything was Y. So you can't even get the J sound to say John, Joshua, Jacob, Jennifer, until English was starting to form and fashion itself as a language. So just imagine all of the people who still believe that the letter J, that's who they call Lord. And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. Just go find out the original name. You can recalibrate your thoughts with getting the right information to do that with. That's all I'm saying. Don't stop your grind on who you believe in, but also go do some due diligence and make sure you own the right name, the right. I mean, if you just get one letter wrong in a name, it sounds different. So if I'm calling on the name to save me, but I'm not calling the right name because the language got changed, am I really going to be saved? I mean, hypothetically speaking, y'all give me an answer down below. I'm just saying, if I'm calling, there's no other name above heaven and earth that I can call on for help. But I didn't know that I was saying the wrong name, you know. And people say, like, real talk, I get it, God, Jesus, Lord, Yahweh are all many names, but are still one. I get that. But we don't get the luxury or the liberty to be able to do that. How is that possible? If we're supposed to be duplicates of the original, okay? We're supposed to be created in the image of and have the attributes of. At birth, you get one name, a first, a middle, and a last, maybe. And that's your name the whole rest of your life, unless you change it. How can we then verify a name and say it means all the same names? I don't think so. I don't think so. You got to really critically think. If your name is Bobby, and they say, well, you know, he's a robber. I don't care who you tell. If my mama named me Bobby, you can't call me Robert and I turn around and say, what's up? Or Robert, and then my short name is Bobby. My mom said my name Robert. My name Robert. You keep saying this Bobby mumbo jumbo. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Come on, y'all are critically thinking. I mean, okay, if it's Yahweh or Yahshua or Yah, it would probably be like a Yah sound. It's not even Yah in English. It's like a sound. They used to Yakin. They used to talk with those different Hebrew, Aramaic kind of stuff, right? So you can't even. Yo, it's deep, man. All I say, do your own due diligence. I'm not gonna argue with nobody. I'm not gonna challenge nobody. I'm just using the information from the book because that's a predominant book that I was brought up under. And that I had to realize with my real eyes something has gone awry, and I had to, for me, step back from that and then clear all of that programming out. I have remembrance of passages and words and the actual flow of things, but that was all programmed in from going to church all the time. Some of y'all was made to go to church. You didn't have no choice. Some of you did choose going to church because you needed some help, but that's the predominant place where you think you can get the help, so that's where you end up at. It's free to walk in there, but it ain't free to come out. So, gotta get that tithe going too, or you ain't right. You ain't paying that tithe, you ain't right. Right? That's what the book says. So, if you step to me with some Bible stuff, I'm gonna step right back to you and be like, yo, okay, how's your tithe life? How you doing there? Because they will check the rolls to see if you've been tithing before they issue some help. That sounds really governmental, bankish almost to me, because it's happened to me before. That's a whole nother story to tell, but I'm telling y'all, it's deeper than what you think, and that Yah sound is what you need to be looking for, and you need to brush up on how some of this came. You need to go look up the Council of Nicaea. This wasn't a Bible lesson by any stretch of the imagination, but we kind of on this, and it's one of those areas that got a lot of static in it though. I see a lot of people who just like entranced by, sometimes it's not even about being religious or being spiritual, going to church. It becomes habitual. It's just a habit. Anything you do for over 30 days, you do it for 60 days straight, it's habitual. That's how they taught us how to write in English, to spell, cast spells. That's how they taught us how to do the alphabet with the song. A, B, C, D, E, F. You see? All of y'all know this stuff. That's how they taught us the perception of reality for each of us was through repetitious programming. So anything you just do all the time, you just keep doing it. You start smoking enough, you will keep smoking. They know this. If you start drinking enough, you'll keep drinking. Coffee, it don't matter what you drink. Pick your poison, okay? It don't matter. It will become habitual. If you work too much, habitual. If you relax too much, it will become habitual. Everything is, we're creatures of habit. So just know that it's more to the religion thing. You got religion and then you got spirituality. You want to look into spirituality more than you want to look at religion. Is controlled, organized, man-made boundaries. That's why you can never get the microphone when dudes on stage. They ain't gonna share that with you because you're not knowledgeable enough to speak. But you're a part of God too, but you don't have enough knowledge to get this microphone. You can't say your piece. God gave you some words to say to the congregation. You can't say nothing. Stand up in church and start shouting something, see what happens. See if the elders and the brothers that dragged you out of there. All of a sudden, you're going to get dragged out get dragged out the pew, up the aisle. Yeah, man, they ain't playing with you. So anyway, got to throw some funnies in there. Everything. Look, the best thing I can share with you is whatever you place in front of you all the time, that's what you're going to produce in reality. So, you've got to put in front of you, yourself, your family, the things you want. Religion distorts that because, you're going to remember scriptures and scripts like the poor will always be in the earth, the meek shall inherit the earth, and you're gonna always think on the lower echelon of frequency because some of those passages were designed to do that, to keep you there. But can T.D. Jakes, can Joel Osteen, Creflo Dollar, they showing videos of them walking on water yet? Anybody seen any of them people walking on water? Like literally. So how was that the character in the book breaking up fishes and loaves and fed 5,000 people with it? Was that magic? And if some people say, oh, that's blasphemy. Well, I haven't seen or heard of anybody else doing that yet. But it says in the book that you shall do greater things than me. Okay, so where's that? Not one righteous person can do. Come on, man. Look, y'all need to wake up. If I lose viewers, too bad. That's oh well. But you gotta wake up. It's been wake up time, but you really need to snap out of this. Don't stop believing what you know is true for you. But for those who are on the fence and stuff and kind of feeling this kind of way and that, nah, you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up. I'm not telling nobody to shift, change they think. I'm just sharing with you that it's obvious. Like, I can't be here and not state what's obvious. Like, I don't even have to sugarcoat anything. Or y'all got experiences in this stuff, and that's one of the chains around the neck with the big ball on it. They used to say this a long time ago. They said when Christianity goes to a country to do the missionary work, when the missionaries leave, the original peoples have the Bible, and the missionaries and the groups that went in to spread the word come out with all the resources. That's what done did happen. So you take over. See, when you don't have the strength to come in and just physically take over folks, you have to use trickology. So if I make you aspire to do this, and you stop caring about that, but I care about that, which you now not care about because you care about what I gave you more than you care about this, how you think some countries are so poor and destitute now? You go up in there, they still studying certain religions. That's why they're destitute. That's why the ground is barren. That's why. There was a trade-off took place. They traded their resources. They didn't know they was doing this. They traded their resources and what was important for some book information that sounded cool. It sounded like, oh, this could fix my problem. But it didn't fix the problems. It exacerbated it. But now you so repetitiously doing it, it's in the culture now. It's in everything now. It's like a virus. Don't matter which religion it is. It's in there, and now you can't get out of it. Your sons, your daughters, your this and that, they in it. And so now, while they're still pulling the resources out, you getting poorer and poorer. That's why the poor will always be in the land. Because when you trade off religion for your livelihood, or you trade off religion for your any religion, then you deplete your whole being from producing the environment around you that actually sustains you. Now you done gave it away. You literally give it away. And they're tearing our trees down because you over there praying to your God in the book for them to stop it, but they won't stop. By the time you get done praying, they done took the rainforest. They done took this to that. What they do with them trees? Make stuff out of it and sell it to somebody else in another country that don't have them trees. That's it. So don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. Don't get mad at me for saying truthful things when the very books that are out there that people read, religious books, talk about telling the truth. So don't get mad that when the truth come out, it cuts you. It'll cut you, man. But anyway, y'all, I think this was a good live. I could go on for, I'm like the dude Black Thought. I could keep spitting bars. And if you ask me some questions, I could take you to Mars. I could just keep spitting and spitting and spitting. And even though my words don't rhyme, shoot, I do this in my sleep all of the time. You know what I'm saying? I could just keep going and going and going and going, but I don't think it's going to do that much good. But yeah, I think it's enough information. I wish I could literally copy all of y'all's comments, paste them in my comments after this thing posts. Let me see something. I think all of these, eventually this live will let people see the streams, so y'all's information will be seen. And, none of the information I talk about is meant to offend anybody or hurt anybody unless it needs to. That's as real as it gets. If I'm trying to save your life, so when a Coast Guard swimmer jump in the water to save a victim from drowning in the ocean, if the victim starts fighting back and can endanger the swimmer that's trying to rescue them and the person, that diver is trained to knock that person out, knock you cold out in the water, throw the life preserver around you, and get you to safety. So just call me the Coast Guard. That's all I can say about that. Major is a Coast Guard jumper. I jump in and save folks. And if I gotta hit you and chain you down for a hot second just to get you up to the helicopter, to get you to real safety, then so be it. You can call me all kind of names you want, say, you doing this, you doing that, blah, blah, blah. Yo, if I'm saving one life, it's worth it. I'm good. Y'all good, everybody good. So, just know when you fix people, when you help people, sometimes you don't have to knock them out for a second in order to get them to safety. So, I appreciate all of y'all. I'm gonna get off here because these earbuds, they in here. I'm trying to get y'all the sound quality, but I can't take no more radiation. I have my limits. I appreciate. All right, Monica Smith, that's what's up. I'm glad that. Okay, cool, C. Marie, thank you. The live chat will be attached to this once it posts. It takes a couple of days, though, I think. But yeah, Moon Goddess. That's what's up. Y'all connect with Moon God. Y'all spit this knowledge back and forth. I'm glad this platform can be used to exchange this vital, critical information. And I'll just say this. Don't deep dive unless you got your oxygen tank on the back and you know how much air you got in there. Go slowly, trying to obtain certain information. Isolate what you need to know first. And then start proceeding further and further. Don't just go get all, because I did it. I got a whole bunch of information. I was so into wanting to know. And when you want to know, you can say the universe or whatever, the air, whatever you want to call it. Prana, bring the answer back to you, man. I got a flood of information all at once, and my brain was trying to calibrate all of this data. And I think because I was able to clean out so much old data from meditation and stuff, and just trying to be quiet and not see any images in my head for months on end, till I got it to where I couldn't see nothing. When I closed my eyes, I could see a black screen. Then I knew I was at some point of origin where I could then apply new stuff on top of that. But if you apply too much stuff, you can be a nutty professor too. So make sure you gradually unwrap information before you start, because you will drive yourself crazy too with too much of this data. It's so much that's been covered up. When you start unwrapping it, it could be quite a bit to deal with. So take my word, take my advice on this one. If you're interested in your origins, go look into that. If you're interested in the origins of religion, just go look into that. Take time, study that one piece, focus on it, get that out of the way, then open another book and go to your next section of what you're trying to find out about what's going on in this place or where you need to be positioned at. Then and only then, you're making sure you're not tapping yourself out in the process of trying to find out what's been tapping you out. Because that's a strategy too. They hope you tap yourself out. They ain't got, look, oh, this entity is buying bullets and this government entity is stocking up on bullets and they ain't even got to use them. All they got to do is tell you that information, and then we'll instinctively use it against ourselves through fear. That'll kill you quicker. Stress will kill you quicker than anything. So I appreciate all of y'all on here. I was going to go into some other stuff. I could keep spitting for hours on end, but I think I'm going to call it on this one. Wow, there's so many subjects we could go over. Y'all keep scrolling stuff, making me think about meditation now. I'm going to say this real quick, and I need to go back into it myself. Over here in Vietnam, you're in the concrete, you're in the granite jungle. They got some grass over here, so I'm going to go use it. But you need to get them bare feet on the dirt or on some grass, on some living, natural thing. Even salt rock has certain frequency to it. Like somebody said earlier, granite. You got to get your bare feet, because that's why they call it the ground. Like an electrical circuit has to be grounded. So if you keep these rubber soles on our feet, it's keeping us from being grounded. Rubber is not a it's not a conductor. It's a blocker. So that's why they call it, for some reason, the sole of your feet. I mean, I didn't even come up with that. The sole of your foot. Is your soul in your foot, or is the connection to your soul through your feet? So try to remember every now and then, flip your shoes off. I know a lot of us wasn't grown it up with that kind of life, walking barefoot, but there's a lot to that help your body recalibrate itself. So anyway, conductor, yes. So anyway, all that energy coming out your feet, bouncing back, going through your body, it should be going in the ground, and it's staying bottled in. And that's why we got a lot of dis-ease in the body. That's one reason. Yep, get some sun, get some vitamin D. If you're going to sun gaze, do that in the morning when the sun is rising. Right around noon, you need to be out of the sun. It's too much electromagnetic energy coming out right now. Sun's in a different calibration right now, so I would only advise getting some sun like early morning to about 10, 11 o'clock, when it's over your head. You don't want to be radiated more. But anyway, yo, I'm gonna get up out of here, go find out what's going on. I appreciate y'all. Hit those comments, hit the likes. check out my new channel, Major Experience TV, to see what's going on in Vietnam. I'll be back at y'all in a minute. All right, y'all. This is Major, signing off for another kind of cool video. Peace. Say peace. All right, she ain't talking. Peace. Y'all good now?
I'm not.